Okay, cool. Let's see. Sorry, there's a bunch of people that just keep popping in. So want to make sure you can all see. So I'm going to share my screen again with everybody. Hopefully you can see. I should be able to see some charts up on the screen, correct? Just give me a quick shout out in chat. Make sure I'm sharing the right things. All right. Yep. All right. Perfect. Good. All right. So let's jump into it. So we'll take a quick look at the market today. So we've got the Russell, and there's a lot of lines on some of these charts. So bear with me a moment or two. As we take a look at some things today, another nice down day for the market. So Russell down 1.76. The S&P down a little bit further today, down about 1.65 or so on the day. NASDAQ getting hit the most. Here, this one gapping down about 2.25% on NASDAQ, not surprising. So none of these really surprising. Today, we've been talking about sell-offs for a while in the group here, so I don't think any of this should be a surprise for you, and you should be pretty well set up. So our account's actually holding in there pretty good today. Yeah, we're going to take some heat on some of the MES, ES naked puts that we have, but we're going to do pretty well on our hedges and our other 111 trades as well. So we're going to cover all of those today. So while everybody else screams and panics, we're just going to calmly look at cool stuff that shows that we may know what we're doing. I don't know. So let's take a look at it. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, and I'm going to remove a few things here. So undo some of these linear regression lines that are on here. Oops, I should remove that. Just because I think it is clogging things up a bit. All right. In fact, let's just move it out of here. We're going to add those later and show some things. So what I want to do is take a look at some of the major indexes. We will initially take a look at ES here. I'm not a big fib guy because it doesn't really impact my trading on it as well, but I will cover my version of doing some things on the fib. But took a look here at the October lows. When we look at the October lows, I really only care about the 618 and a little bit of the 382. Those are your main fib levels for me, and that's what I'm taking a look at on this move up higher here on ES. What I thought was pretty cool on ES, which is why I want to take a moment just to show this to you, is if we back out, I'm less of a fib guy, more of a support resistance person. However, I mean, it doesn't mean that stuff doesn't work. It's just not for me. I don't have the time. But look at this pivot point up here, which becomes support. It's right at the 50 fib retracement. So this is right at that 50 fib retracement. Then look at this next support level in here that's been, hit. And then hit again, okay, and then a little bit of an area here, came close to it too. That's the exact 618 level. So this support is also the 618. So I identified this piece as support. That's the 618. Then if we take a look at this next support level that's in here, that's been set by this pivot, bounced off of it, close, tried to get below, but bounced above. A couple times we've hit on this thing. That's also a fib level here at the 78. And then the 100, when we look at this 100, it's exactly the top of this support level here that's been bounced off of once, twice already. So you can draw fibs, and I'm not saying fib doesn't work. I mean, I think they're great tools for short-term traders and stuff to look at. I think they're important lines to take a look at. But when I look at support levels that I drew, they're almost exactly fib levels. So which one was more important? And they're the same. So fib told you maybe where support was going to be, but support already told you where those fib levels or where those key levels might be. So if we're here on ES, taking a look down in here, yeah, we're moving down today. Where do we smack down here on this particular one? Right at the 382. Are we going to hold it? I don't know. If we break it, then I'm looking at this support line here. And this is also my longer term uptrend line in here, which is really close. So I think this 50% retracement piece, which is also support right here and an uptrend line, I think this area here is going to provide us with our next real support level. We could hold here. Let's see how we do. But if we take a look overall at the health, and again, I don't want to get too crazy on stuff today. I mean, MACD told you here that momentum was dying right at this top. Okay, you know, the RSI told you on this high that it was not as high as the previous high. So we also told you right there that this wasn't going to keep going further. It didn't have the momentum to do it. I don't know who AHACC is, but yeah, we'll let you in. And then, you know, TTM squeeze showed you momentum was trailing off on it here. If we take a quick look at super trend lines, let's get rid of the fibs. We've already made our point on Fibonacci. So I'm going to take these off. Too confusing. So as we looked at the super trend lines here, this also told you we were a sell back in here. And then if we look at the PSAR reversal, you know, in here, we had a way overbought stochastic momentum breaking through here. We had the CCI commodity index piece also dropping below the 100 level. So everything told you that we were going down. Your uptrend line was actually broken today. So we got a PSAR reversal today on this, not surprising, but we knew it was going to happen because typically when the dot touches your last your candle here, you're going to reverse. So we knew Friday was going to be a reversal day, or Monday is going to be a reversal day based upon this. So we knew today was going to be down. Nothing extraordinary. I mean, if you plan for it and you understand it and your trades are set up well, this is all within the realm of exactly what's supposed to happen. NASDAQ a little different. The fibs and the supports don't necessarily match up perfectly on this. And I hope you can hear me because I'm getting the low system resources piece. But you know, this support didn't quite match up with the 50, but it's, you know, you can have a range in here. We broke past the 618 on this move this morning, but look where we slammed into. We slammed into a support line. Okay, I'm not saying fib's not important because a lot of times they line up, but you slammed right into support. Now, can that support break? It absolutely can. We can go further down here. Next fib is the 200, which is also to me just the 200, which is going to give you some opportunity in here. Nothing exciting on NASDAQ that we didn't see coming. Russell, this one's been a little bit more unique and challenging on this one, just because you've been in such a tight range for a while here. And yeah, I mean, all these are, they were absolutely at each, these are absolutely short opportunities. I'm not a big short person, so I don't short a lot. I don't buy puts and I don't short stocks. It's just a karma thing for me. But yeah, a good trader would make money on both sides of the market. So you knew it was going to change. You could see the oversold levels here breaking. You could see us moving down on pretty much everything that we had back here. Super trend told you it was going down. Back here, momentum was coming out right here. So we knew momentum was coming out and everything was moving here. Again, doesn't mean we know where we're going. All we know is we weren't going up any further, and I'm still not buying a bounce on much of anything here because we're not in an area, to me, to establish any kind of a low or a bounce. And any bounce that we would get here to me is going to be potentially sold. You're still in an uptrend on ES here. So it's still an uptrend. It won't break that until this is broken here. Yeah, it's in a sell-off, it's in a pullback, but you're maintaining this long-term uptrend. You get the 100 here on ES. So everything is still telling you that, hey, we are in an uptrend, but we're in a pretty good pullback. However, your long-term uptrend line being broken, but until I have a lower low here, I'm not too, too worried about it yet, but we're getting into that area where we might get some little panic excitement going on. Let's take a look at a few other things that are moving in the markets. When we look at, let's shorten the time frame up here. And I apologize, things are running a little slow today, so hopefully this is yeah, easily doable and seeable here. So crude oil, we've had a nice run up, selling off a bit here. Why? Well, look at the squeeze. Look how long we've been in this squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. I mean, 9 days, 8 being the average before it starts to reverse. So yeah, this is perfect for us. We're in a strangle here. We're going to touch base on our trades in a moment. But yeah, looks good. Coming down to the 8. Again, the 21. We talked about moving averages in the other day. I mean, take a look at this, kind of highlighter green line. That's the 21 EMA. You got bounce, bounce, above, bounce, broke, came back up through, okay, up and down a little bit. But now once you broke, boom, it turned into, into resistance. Stayed below, came back up, hit it, couldn't break it. Came back up, hit it, couldn't break it, sold off, stayed below, up, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Okay, couldn't break it. Finally broke, and then boom, came down, touched it, came down close to it, touched it. So it's the 21 EMA to me is really mostly the magical EMA. And with all other things being stacked in a good position, this is a really good indicator of what's going on. You're still in an uptrend. If we come down here, maybe we'll touch it, and then we'll move higher again on CL. Gold. So gold's been just in this sideways channel for months and months and months. Gold here, you can obviously see where there was a reverse in gold back in here. MACD always tells you first, hey, things are starting to reverse higher. Okay, squeeze takes a little bit longer time to move, and then we're up. But now we've run out of steam, and we're starting to go back down the other way. So gold's just perfectly sideways, which for us is perfect because we're running a strangle on gold, and we're almost at a 50% profit already on gold. So good trade there on gold. Take a quick look at the bonds. Look at the 30-year just tanking off of here. Yes, everything told you here it was going to happen. Squeeze was trying to fire up. Squeeze fired down. Okay, it finally fired in here with the green dots. Good sell-off in bonds. We got the piece of reversal signal back in here. We were oversold, started to come down, never really broke below the, we were overbought. We never broke below the oversold level until now, and we'll stay below that until such time as we start to move higher. But what's really key on bonds is I look at these extremes. If you get to 200 on the CCI index and you reverse through the 100, that's usually a good indication of a change in trend. But here, it waffled around for a while, actually went back up for a bit. Now you're below the 200 on this as well. As soon as this thing starts to come up through the 100, I think that's where maybe bonds will have bottomed out and may start to reverse themselves right now. But you're in a squeeze sell-off on bonds, and until that resolves, tech's not going to improve. So interest, the bonds are dropping. When bonds are dropping, what does that do to rates? Well, rates rocket higher. So here's the 10-year rate. Look at that thing go. Maybe we're going to hit 2% or so on it, which would be the 20 up in here. We'll see what happens, but bonds dropping, rates rising, not a shock that everything's going down right now. Just be prepared for it, and we deal with it. However, again, I do think, and here's the 20-year, same thing. Not everything told you here what was happening. So we can see this thing dropping, and you look at the 21 EMA, which once things break, boom, it starts to act as a resistance level. So until we break this 21 to the upside and then bounce off of it, I don't think that we have a recovery in any of the bonds yet in time. And if you have any quick stocks you want to review, these are good. We'll jump in. I just want to pick out a few stocks, and then I want to cover some of the trades that I'm looking at, which is not many, because I have been very, very cautious on trading. Here's Facebook. You're in a downtrend. You're below the 200. Your 50 is below the 200. Your 8 is now breaking below the 21 EMA. MACD's reversed. Squeeze popping to the downside, potentially. There's nothing good about that. Oh, but should I buy and sell puts here? And, these are all no man's land to me. These things have already made their moves. Is there more moves to go? Very possibly. Okay. This was the sell signal. You're down here. You missed it. Why chase it? I mean, can it go further? Sure. Can it break this area here of support? Sure. Okay. You're below the 200. I'm not getting bullish on anything that's below a 200. I'm not catching the falling knife. Amazon, same thing. Looks terrible. Having a bad day. Nothing to do in there. Netflix was the only one that was, I think, was up a tad this morning at the open on Netflix. But hey, you're in a downtrend line. You've got the 21 EMA here, which is going to be your resistance level. I don't know what you're looking to do. Oh, let's buy here because it's low. Well, you know what? 480 is going to even be lower, people. And I'm not saying it's going to 480. Okay, but what's to stop it? What's going to stop this thing from going down on Netflix? Google. Okay, here's a support level from previous. I don't think it's a great support level at all, but the 200s here, you got some support. Google's held up pretty well for the most part. But look at this thing tailing off. There's nothing here telling you we're reversing anytime soon. CCI is still heading below 200, which is perfect for a reversal at some point. Stochastic momentum told you here, get the hell out. It's way below. PSR reversal started here. It told you to get out. So you knew to get out on all of these things. Nothing magical. On it. Microsoft down towards a support level. Now, this is a key support, I think, for Microsoft. So to me, this level here, boom, we hit it, boom, bounce, 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 bounce. Okay, over here, this is important. So I think this 305, 306 level for Microsoft is a pretty good level. Now, am I saying get long and bounce? No, why would you do that? There's nothing here that says get long. Okay, look at that. The momentum is increasing to the downside. That is not screaming, yeah, get long. Okay. What it's telling me is, can we bounce here? If we bounce, what could that mean? Well, maybe we run up to the 21 EMA, and then we can continue the sell-off, potentially. I don't know. We're in a channel. Let's see what happens on Microsoft. And then you got Apple, which not as bad as many of the others, but you've got no real, and maybe here, this little gap piece here. So it's possible that this level is going to act as a little bit of support for Apple. Maybe. We'll watch. So again, I could draw fibs and stuff on here, but I'm just looking at support. If it breaks it, here's the next support. Okay. So, and here's the 50. So you look at, to me, I'm just looking at moving averages. I'm looking at support resistance lines. Trend lines aren't as critical on it. However, drawing a trend line from that low gives you an idea of where this thing could also potentially coming in. So longer term trend line here, shorter term trend line here on Apple. So 50 moving average. So maybe something in here will hold this thing up. Don't know, don't care, doesn't matter. I'm not in Apples and that doesn't really matter. NVIDIA, nice downtrend line. Broke the 21, 8's below the 21. This thing's selling, and I think it might be just getting going on NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA long term. It's one of my faves here. This could be a spot. Maybe we reverse here. Russell, S&P is down 1.7, NASDAQ down 2.24, so they haven't really moved a whole lot. Okay, so let's look at a couple trades. So I posted 4 trades in over the weekend. Lucid. So Lucid is one of my 4 trades that I like. I really like Lucid here. Oh, what's Lucid doing today, by the way? After calling this one up this weekend, it's up 47 cents. When I'm looking at my watch list over on the left-hand side here, what's green? See anything green? No, I see one green. It's Lucid. So Lucid, along with some cannabis stocks, are the only thing, and I like cannabis stocks here. I think this is the time for cannabis. And if you're looking to get long something, get long cannabis. So take a look at that. But Lucid, I like it here. So again, breaking above the 21 EMA, which it did the other day, came down, touched it this morning, and is continuing to go higher. MACD, look at that thing. Here was the reversal, broke positive on Friday. TTM squeeze, just about. So it's entering a squeeze right now. Look how tight those Bollinger Bands are, but they're starting to open, flare open at the top. That looks really good. PSAR reversal on Friday, boom, boom. And then to me, there's support right here at 35. I mean, this is a great opportunity as far as I'm concerned. So while the market's falling, you got one thing green here for the most part, and that was Lucid today. So I'm liking Lucid here. I'd be selling something. I was looking at selling the 30 put down here for about 92 cents. That was over the weekend with it moving here. Maybe we're around there. So if we take a look at Lucid real quick. So based on everything here, how would you play it? Well, because support is so close and we're bouncing off of it, okay, then to me, selling a put makes the most sense. Now, why wouldn't I sell a butterfly on this? Well, you certainly can sell a butterfly. But to me, a butterfly means we're going to really rock it. Can we rock it? Yeah, absolutely. But if I've got support, which to me, look how defined that support seems to be, as well as the lower Bollinger Band line. You know, it's possible we can go. So either way, you have either choice in your tool bag. So let's take a look at Lucid and let's trade it. So if we're going to trade Lucid here today, okay, you've got earnings on February 21, and we're not messing with those anyway. So if I'm going to sell a put, I like 30 days. So I've got the February 4th, February 11th, either one of those is possible. Let's take a look, February 11th. I'm going to go down to the 30. Why? So 35 was my support level. Expected moves 33. I like the fact that the 30 is right at the one standard deviation out, and I can get a buck. So I can actually get for 99 cents here, decent buying power. So I could actually get, I could put a couple of these on in Lucid. It is hard to borrow. So from that standpoint, for some of you, it may cost something. Maybe instead you decide, I'm going to put on a spread. So maybe I want to do the 30-25 spread. Look at the 30-25. I can 110 bucks on an 890 buying power, and I'm totally, my loss, 1,780 bucks to make 220 bucks. So you can go naked. You can go with the spread here, which is a great spread. I mean, that's like 10% return in 25 days at 30. Well below this support level. 30 down here, which is about where that 200 is going to be coming into play on it. And maybe got a little supportish here at 28. somewhere around there. So I think that's a good opportunity. I think you can certainly make that play to do that. So credit spread's a good idea. Well, let's, for the heck of it, let's just put that on just for fun. So drop a credit spread on Lucid in there. We'll see what happens if we get filled. The other piece would be a butterfly. Oh, we got filled. Let's take a look. Who it was Eddie looking to do a butterfly on this thing. So if you're going to do a butterfly, Eddie's doing a 4-day. I'm a 11 DTE butterfly guy, so I like the 11 to 12. I will go out to the expected move somewhere around 48 here on that. So I like to be around the expected move on it. Let's see what happens if I go 48.50. Since that's a 2 wide, I would go 4 low in here, and that would be my butterfly. So I've got a 2 wide here. I want to spend less than half of that. So 75 cents to put this butterfly on. If I take a look at this thing, I hate Tastyworks' analysis graph. Did I click on the right things? Yeah. That cannot be. Correct. I don't know. That looks pretty funky for. There we go. That's because I just didn't think of it. Okay, so there's your butterfly. If Lucid blows up through this 50 and keeps running, we're making 123 bucks. Okay, our buying power pretty low, although it's only going to cost me 75 bucks to put this thing on. $76 to put this thing on. So for 76 bucks, max profit in here, which I don't really worry about max profit. What I worry about, what I most think of is if I get to here, can I make 100, can I make 100% of my money back? Well, absolutely. So I can make that and some more. So taking a look at that, this to me would be the butterfly that I would take a look at. Can we hit 48 on Lucid right in here? Yeah. So there's your 48. Can we get to here? Maybe. Little weakness today, so let's keep an eye on it. I sold the put. I'm going to stick in there, but that's the thought rationale behind. Would I do a butterfly, which to me around 11 days, or would I sell a put? So we sold a put, and we're in on the put spread right now, and we've got a pretty good cushion, 25 days. We'll let that thing go. Lucid's down a tad today. Because the market's just going to clobber things. Why am I putting a bullish trade on today? Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, so there's Lucid. The next one that we were talking about was a strangle on ES today. So when we're looking at ES, we looked at all of the pieces that are in here. Let's potentially put a strangle on, a 90-day strangle on ES. We've got currently, hang on, because I got to pull my sheets up. So we have one strangle going in ES. We got closed out of 2 profitable ones on Friday for 50% winners each. So it's a good day to go back and let's get another strangle on ES. So let's jump in here. We're going to go out to 90 days. Yeah, it's 94 is close enough. I'm going to take a look at this strangle. Gary in here. And I'm going to go out to about the 6 delta. And man, we've got nice IV of 40 here. So I'm going to sell the 35.50. And we're going to go up on the call side somewhere around $7 or so, or 7 delta 50. Yeah, the 58. So 10% upside, well outside the expected move. That's a lot of premium to collect in here. So I may actually go just a tad wider, just because I can. I would normally go the 7 delta, which again, make a couple bucks more, $35, 34. You know what? Let's go to 50.80. All right, so the 50.80 strangle, that's what we're going to be looking at for today. It's significantly different. Our previous strangle is 38.50. Okay, this is 35.50, and the upper was 52.20. This is 50.80. So it's skewed to the downside a bit more than our other strangle. You know what? I am going to 5100. Guess we make a pretty good rally. So 33 bucks here. Let's go ahead and put this sucker on. It'll chew up a little bit of buying power, about 3,600 bucks in buying power. And we're going to look at a 50% profit on that. So we'll let that thing work. So there's a strangle on ES, taking advantage of some additional, and we're filled on that. So I'll get these things posted before too long here today. Next thing I want to take a look at is, this is a great day for a 111 trade. And I got boatloads of buying power because I'm well over 50% cash in these things. So I'm going to look to put on a 111 trade. I'm going to use ES for this one. And let's go out to about 45 days. Man, we're right in this February 18. Let's go February 18. Let's just go a tad shorter because I don't have anything on for February 18. I have February. Oh, I do have a February 18. So because I already have a 111 in here, I don't think I want to put a second one on. Yeah, so I've already got a 111 trade working, which we are now inside the trap. So we'll touch base on that as well. But let's go out just one more strike to 49. And let's look to put on a 111 trade in ES. So let's just pick some strikes here. We're going to go 30 wide. I want to pay approximately $5-6 for these. Okay. So let's go. We got to go a ways out, man. All right. So here's a 30 wide. It's going to cost me $5 to put that on. I want to pay for that with about an $11. Okay, so I'll take in 625. So here's what we need to put on is we're going to put on 3,700 on the downside. We're going to go 43.10, 43.40. And we're going to try to get about $6 for this thing. So we have to be able to put this thing on in 2 separate legs here. So we're going to put this first one on for $5 on the debit spread. And we'll wait to see if we get filled on the debit spread. And that may take some time to fill today. So if that takes a little bit of time, it's all good. We'll wait to see how that goes. On it, I want to jump back into one other stock. I was looking at GM as well. Here, it's above the 200 and the 50 and the 21. Now, good sell-off today. Momentum's coming out. Squeeze those still firing. I think this is something to keep an eye on. I would look. I think there's good support at 54 here. I think you could sell a put on GM. Another nice down day, so it's actually giving us some better opportunity on GM to sell a put. We've got earnings coming up. I don't mind going a day or two past earnings because I don't want to be in it that long anyway. And if I look to sell something at 54 or below, I can go to 53, right below that support of 54. You can see support in here. Hit it, 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 hit it again. And we're still well below that, which is above the 50, above the 200, above the uptrend line support. So selling a put down in here. Now, is it a good idea to be selling a put in a big sell-off? Probably not a great idea. So I'm not going to put this on, but it's giving you a thought process. Man, you can get $61 for 532. It's over 10% for 25 days. And that's pretty good looking stuff. So I like GM here. I'm going to hold off just because of the market conditions. but I like it. I think this is a good opportunity on GM. And then the last thing was Home Depot. So Home Depot, we were in this thing for a butterfly here. Okay, why? Well, take a look. I mean, MACD reversing, looking to break out here, squeeze, potentially firing on it here. I mean, everything, bouncing off, breaking through the 21 EMA, everything stacked. I mean, that was a pretty good bet right here to go long. Well, it didn't. Home Depot, interest rates, some other things, home builder stuff turned around, and now we're selling off. Now we are selling back down to here. Okay, we have not filled this gap. So we may need to fill that gap. We've created a new gap. So we've got gap to fill here and a gap to fill here. We fill this gap, we could easily run back up. However, this is looking very double top-ish to me. So something we could potentially put on, and again, I'm not a big fan of these things, is I could put on a credit spread in Home Depot. So we take a look at Home Depot, HD, boom. When I put on credit spreads, I usually like to go out about 25 to 30 days. So doing a bear call spread here and potentially selling something, what was I looking at here? The 420, 420, 425 now. It was 56 credit over the weekend. The credit has shifted now, so you might have to tighten this up a bit on Home Depot. Would you sell, this one? I don't know. We've moved $10 today, so that threw our whole plan off by $10. So really, you're looking at the 415, 410. Look at that. That thing is a pretty good return, and it's almost 20%. That's almost too much. That's not enough. It's tight. So 410, 415, taking a look here, 410's absolutely hittable. The high's 420, so I don't like it as much now. So I'm going to bail on the Home Depot piece. Can you consider a broken wing butterfly for downtrending stocks? Absolutely. However, what you got to make sure of is if this thing's reverse, and I don't like to bet on stuff that's going down. At some point, stuff stops going down because everything goes up eventually. Everything goes up eventually. Even crap that looks like this goes up eventually. Okay. Even crap that looks like this goes up eventually. I don't know when. So when you're looking at stuff like ARC and you're looking at stuff like Teladoc, here, I mean, these things have been in such a long downtrend line. Will they ever go up again? Maybe. If you're going to look at things like, let's plug one of them. So, I mean, yeah, look at plug. It's been whacked in half. You could have done it in here, but I'm afraid that if you do it here and this happens, depending on what you're doing with your butterfly, that's not great. Now you see momentum trying to reverse and then giving up again on some things here. I think you could sell butterflies on the downside. Broken wing, the only problem with that is you do have unlimited downside when you sell the broken wing flies. You have no risk to the upside, but you have lots of risk to the downside. This market is going to turn around. You've got earnings and stuff coming up. I'm not saying it's turning around and going higher for long, but I am going to tell you that it could be just turning around and then boom, it's really going to hit you. I don't know. NASDAQ down 2% more today. What's NASDAQ down so far? So NASDAQ has lost, what, 1,500? It's lost not quite 10%. So you're at almost a 10% correction. Okay. 5% is not a correction. 10%, a little bit more of a correction, a little bit of a bearish market. You've got to lose 1,600 points off of this. So you've got to get to 1,510. So you're doggone close. I mean, this support here on NASDAQ. This really is your 10% line. That's where you're hitting today. It bam, hit right on it. It's basically 10% sell off. Call broken wing butterfly, not put. Yeah, potentially. You could also just put a regular butterfly on, like Gabe did on SPX for today, and make a bunch of money. So you could if I want to put something on a downtrending stock and I want to do a fly and something that's low risk, high reward, I might actually put a symmetrical butterfly where the wings are equal. So if you pay 50 cents for it, or $50 or whatever, then that's your max loss. You can't lose if it goes up, down, or you can't lose more than your $50. But if it heads in the right direction long enough or quick enough, like Gabe did today. So Gabe nailed that SPX fly that he put on. He put it on right at the trend line, and he took it off at the morning when we first gapped down a bit. Now we've moved and accelerated past that, but so Gabe pulled that off today, I think. So that was a pretty good turnaround on it. I think Gabe, yeah, you pulled that off. You closed it at for $3.10, and you put that thing on the other day for $1. So nice return on that. A 2x return overall on that trade in a day. So not bad. Pick up 200% in a day, and he's still in it. So see where things end up going. All right, let's just run through a couple quick things. I want to get off here in the next 5 minutes with you, but yeah, I'm not putting this Home Depot. Let's take a quick look at positions that we have on for the day. Kind of a mixed day. Your biggest drops are going to be your ES and your MES in here on our account, but you've got SPX, SPY, you've got VIX, gold, other things are up. So overall down a bit on the day, but we're not closing anything out. It is a day to close an MES trade. So we're going to close the oldest, most profitable trade. That happens to be this one, which is going to be up 71% today. So we're going to close that thing. We'll put an order in to close, and we'll look to close. Boom, closed, and we're out of an MES trade. So again, we've got a winner already for the day. And then I'm going to be putting on my additional ES trades, and we'll take a look at these. These are in the money. These are great. So take a look at ES. I'm going to go out to 60, but not over. So we're going to look at February 28th. I'm going to drop all the way down. In here on these ES trades, somewhere between that 5-7 delta. I think with the IV rank of 45 now, you can get a little bit more exciting on these. I've been collecting somewhere in the neighborhood of 1350 on average. I'm going to get more on this one, so let's get like 1550. It's a good spot right there. Yep. So let's take a look. We're going to put on an ES trade. We're going to put 2 of these on a week, typically Monday, Thursday. Last week was Monday, Friday, because I forgot to put one on Thursday. And let's see what happens. We'll put that trade. We'll let it work. And then we're still waiting for this one to get filled. So this thing has not triggered yet at the for our 111. I'm still waiting. Can I walk it up to 525? I can. Well, we just got filled on the short put. All right, we'll go 525. I hate it. Let's see if we get filled on that thing. These do take a while, some of these spreads, but we'll let that thing sit as we continue to worsen down 90 points here. This spread, if I don't get filled at 525, I may relook at the strikes again. On it, let's take a quick look overall at ES trades. Boom. Here's where we are. Not active. We want the curve. And analysis. Sorry about that. Either way. And here's how this thing looks. So here's our sleeping elephant, as we call it. Here's where the current price is today. Man, we are right in this area here. So we're looking at a $6,000 profit at that point in time. However, we're only up, a bit on this so far. So we're up a bit. Things look good. We're making some money as the market drops, as it continues to drop into this elephant body. We start to make even more and more and more money down in here. However, again, you got SPX, you got a NASDAQ down, it's 10%. Is it going to 20% down? Is it going to stay at 10%? Is it 15%? So how much more downside do we have? Don't know. Don't care a whole lot. We've got these trades on ES, but I'm trying to get that other 111 trade on today. So if we happen to move back up, stay in here, we're going to make plenty of money. If we drop down here, we'll make plenty of money. And then when we get down into here, are we starting to lose some money? At this point down here, we will. NASDAQ has to drop another 12, 13% from here. However, we have other hedges on to deal with that. So we've got VIX spreads on. They're paying off today pretty nicely. Those VIX spreads pretty much offset most of the MES, unrealized losses. You've got SPY, where we have one remaining 111 trade on in here. Expires in 11 days. This 111 trade, by the way, let's take a quick look. Man, we got to wrap up. But take a look at this 111 trade in here. So let's look at both. There's your 111 trade. Totally fine. If we go down in here, we'll make a lot more money. It's all good. Oh, we finally got filled 525 on that. So let's go and put the FAR on the money put on in a minute. So here's where we are on that 111 trade. Looks all good. Nothing to worry about there. Totally fine. And then let's look at the ratio spread that we have on here as well. We put this thing on for what? $1.35. Well, I should have looked right here. So we put it on for $1.35. So the most we can lose on this thing, if the market stays up to $1.35, we're now into this slope here. So we're starting to watch this. If this market goes down, okay, and we start to head down into these scarier parts here, we start to make additional thousands and thousands of dollars. Will we get there? I don't know. That's a pretty far way down, but this will offset what happens in those ES trades when they go a little bit more south. So that's all good. We've got that hedge on, pretty happy. Here's SPX. What do we have going on in SPX? We got a bunch of exciting stuff going on in SPX. Taking a look at this. Okay. So here's SPX. Look at the way this thing looks now. So this is really all hedge trades. Everything we're doing in SPX is hedging. If we drop down to another 10% from here, which would be a 20% correction bear market, okay, we're still making additional thousands of dollars. Yes, the hedge cost us $600. It's all good. Okay, on that hedge, I'm okay spending $350 on this hedge to make myself $5,000 to $6,000 if we drop in here. We're right in the body now. Okay, so we're in this hedge. It's all good on this. If we drop back down in here, we'll have to take a look at it. We can maybe take some assignments or something. But we're talking another 10+% on this on SPX. And this is all comprised of big ass bear traps. So there's one big ass bear trap. Okay, that's up $1,000 already. So that's doing its job, giving us $1,000 already. Let's take a look at a few other things that we have. I'm gonna see if I can keep track. Okay, here is this one simply is a call credit spread that we put on. It costs us $200 to make $800. We're already up on this one, $40, big deal. But it's all good. We're up on this other one. 5 whole dollars, but we'll make another 800 on that one if we go down. And then we've got one more big ass bear trap that we have working, that we're right in the middle of right now. This one looks pretty good. So all the SPX stuff we have on, they're all hedges, and they cost us little to nothing to put on. In fact, some we got a credit for. So those are up nicely today, and they're just sitting there. All right, real quick, I want to wrap up. Let's take a look at where we are on oil. So there's our strangle. We're pretty doggone close to the middle on that strangle. That thing's up 185 bucks for us here today. We're up 15% on that. And then gold, we're up 43.6. We're up 44% on gold. I'm hoping that we will shortly be able to close this thing out for a 50% winner. But look at that, you're right in the middle of this trap on, on gold, or right in the middle of the spread on gold. It's up 300 and some bucks. Another nice winner. We can make 700, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to make 350 on it, and we're up 305, 44%. That's all good. There's other stuff in here we can look at. IWM, we have some naked puts. We're still positive on these anyway, and we're still quite a ways away from these selling off even further and hitting our strikes. I may put some more on today. Home Depot was that butterfly. That thing's a fail. And then Tesla was a butterfly. That thing's a fail. Max losses on these, a couple $100. I could care less on it. And then NEO, we're sitting down here at 25. Wow, we're still profitable since the open on that. So things look good everywhere. What we want to do real quick, though, is we want to finish up this ES trade. So we put a 111 on. We put the debit spread on for 525 in ES. And that was for the February 28th there. So let's go. We want to finish this up. So let's finish this quickly, and then I'm getting off here. There, is that what we put on today? It was the 43.10, 43.40. Yep. So there's the debit spread. We put that on for 525. So we want to get out here and sell something for about 1125. Okay, I think this will be 36.80, 1125. Initially, it was the 3,700, but because things have worsened, we can get to 38.50. And I want 1125 for that. Boom, there you got it. We got our 1125. So we've got a $6 position going in there. That'll be nice for us. Another 111 trade. And again, we're looking decent on the day. We're maybe down a fraction. So overall, that's where we are. In fact, for the day, we're down 1.1% and 1.2% on the day. We're down, but that's only unrealized. We've actually closed some winners, added some more trades. There you go for the day. We'll see everybody back in chat. This is a quick overview of where we are, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care, everybody.